recommendation on the aforementioned case after conducting a rigid and exhaustive investigation that started on 15 March 2023 and concluded in 21 March 2023. Let us not be mistaken or misled to numerous insinuations and beliefs as to the outcome of the investigation. We are at liberty to say that the real issue on the cases at hand is whether or not the conduct of Representative Arnie Teves Jr. is staying abroad with expired travel clearance and his continued defiance to the orders of the House to return to the country and perform his duties as House member constitute disorderly behavior affecting the dignity, integrity, and reputation of the House of Representatives. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the Committee on Ethics and Privileges hereby submits its committee report on the result of its investigation on the motu proprio investigation relative to Representative Arnie Teves Jr.'s personal foreign trip to United States of America with expired travel clearance and his continued defiance to the orders of the House to return to the country and perform his duties as House member. Pursuant to Section 7, Rule 1 of the Rules of the House of Representatives, which constitute disorderly behavior affecting the dignity, integrity, and reputation of the House of Representatives. Finally, after a thorough deliberation and observance of due process, the Committee on Ethics and Privileges hereby recommends to the House of the Representatives the imposition of the penalty of 60 days suspension from the service upon Representative Arnie Teves Jr. for disorderly behavior. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the adoption of the findings and recommendations submitted by the Committee on Ethics and Privileges as contained in Committee Report number 472, and for this purpose, direct the Secretary General to call the roll of members for nominal voting.
There is a motion to adopt the findings and recommendations submitted by the Committee on Ethics and Privileges as contained in Committee Report number 472. Is there any objection? The Chair hears none. The motion is approved. The Secretary General is hereby directed to call the roll of members for nominal voting.
Roll call of members in consideration for the adoption of Committee Report number 472 submitted by the Committee on Ethics and Privileges. Honorable Representatives Abalos, Abante, Abunda, Acharon, Asidre, Acop, Adyong, Advincula, Agaraw, Alba, Albano, Almario, Almonte, Alonte, Alvarez Jose, Alvarez Mercedes, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante, Amatong, Angara, Aquino, Aquino Magsaysay, Arbison, Arenas, Arrogancia, Asistio, Ataide, Aumentado, Balindong, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Barzaga, Bascub, Bautista, Bautista Lim, Benitez, Bernos, Billones, Biron, Bolilia, Bondoc, Bongalon, Bordado, Bosita, Briones, Brosas, Buhain, Bulot Begtang, Bustos, Cabredo, Cagas, Kahayon Uy, Calderon, Calixto, Campos, Kawagdan, Cardema, Cary, Castro France.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Your Honor, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This representation vote yes, and I will explain my vote later.
Noted.
Castro Jane, Celeste, Chan, Chato, Chua.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
I vote no, and I will explain my vote later.
Noted.
Thank you.
Tungalao, ko Angelica Natasha, ko Elizalde, ko Pilar, ko Angko Jaime, ko Angko Mark, ko Lada, Collantes, Corvera, Cruz Ambrosio, Cruz Ricardo, Kua, Quaresma, Dagook, Dalipe, Dalog, De Anghirang, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor, Del Mar, De Los Santos, Dimaporo Muhammad Khalid, Dimaporo City Amina, Dionisio, Domingo, Duavit, Duhali, Duterte, D. Faustino Ino, D. Faustino Michael Carlos, D. Ian Paul, Ecleo, Emano, Enverga, Escudero, Espares, Espina, Estrella, Udela, Fariñas, Fernandez, Ferrer Antonio, Ferrer Juliet Marie, Flores, Fortes, Frasco, Fresnedi, Fuentebella, Galeos, Garcia Albert, Garcia Dante, Garcia Jose Arturo, Garcia Maria Angela, Garcia Pablo John, Garcia Vincent, Guardiola, Garin, Gasataya, Gato, Go Ed Christopher, Go Mark, Golez, Gomez, Gonzaga, Gonzalez Aurelio, Gonzalez Neptali, Gonzalez Sandro, Goriseta, Buico, Ginto, Gulias, Gutierrez, Hagedorn, Haresco, Ataman, Hernandez, Herrera, Oribata, Javier, Ko Olga, Ko Ricardo, Ko Wilton, Konghun, Labad-Labad, Lacson, Lacson Noel, Lagman, Lagon Daphne, Lagon Sani, Lara, Lazatin, Lee, Legarda, Libanan, Lim Kaichong, Loyola, Luistro, Lumayag, Macapagal-Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Magsino, Malapitan, Mangawang, Maniquis, Manuel, Marañon, Marcoleta, Marcos, Mariano Hernandez, Mariño, Marquez, Martinez, Mastura, Matibag, Matugas, Mendoza, Mercado, Mercado Revilla, Miguel, Momo, Morden, Nava, Nisay, Noel, Nograles Juan Fidel Felipe, Nograles Margarita, Nolasco, Ominal, Olaso, Olivares, Ongchuan, Ordanes, Ortega, Juano Dizon, Padiernos, Paduano, Paglas, Palma, Panaligan, Pancho, Panotes, Pascual, Peña, Pimentel, Plaza, Pleito, Primicias Agabas, Pumaren, Puno, Kimbo, Rama, Recto, Regencia, Remulia, Revilla Brian, Revilla Ramonjolo, Reyes, Rilio, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez Eulogio, Rodriguez Rufus, Roman, Romero, Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salceda, Sali, Salimbangon, Salo, Salvame, Santos, Saulog, Silverio, Singson Richel, Singson Ronald, Singson Mihan, Solon, Suwan, Swansing Horacio, Swansing Micaela Angela, Suarez, Talyado, Tamayo, Tambunting, Tan Joseph, Tan Keith Micah, Tan Reynolds Michael, Tan Samir, Tan Stephen James, Tan Tambut, Tan Chay, Tan Watco, Tariela, Teodoro, Teves Arnolfo, Teves Jose, Tiangco, Tieng, Tolentino, 2 for Jocelyn, 2 for Ralph Wendell, Tupas, Tutor, T, Umali, Unabia, Ungab, Valeriano, Valmayor, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso Tuazon, Vergara, Versosa, Villa, Villafuerte Luis Raymond, Villafuerte Miguel Luis, Villanueva, Villar, Villaraza Suarez, Villarica, Violago, Yamsuan, Yap Christian Tel, Yap Christopher Son, Yap Edvic, Yap Eric, Yu Divina Grace, Yu Jazel Victoria, Yulo, Zamora Amparo Maria, Zamora Maria Carmen, Zamora Isabel Maria, Zubiri. Second call of members in consideration of the motion to adopt the findings and recommendations contained in Committee Report Number 472. Albano, Almonte, Alvarez Pantaleon, Bautista, Bondok, Dalog, Duterte, Fariñas, Co Wilton, Lagman, Lazatin, Lim Kai Chong, Bangawang, Romero, Saulog, Tan Samir, Tan Stephen James, Teves Arnolfo, Villanueva, Yap Edvic, Yap Eric.
Mr. Speaker, I will change my vote to yes after reading the committee report thoroughly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So noted.
Kong Lagman, yes. Kong Lagman daw, yes. Ayun, galing kay Jeff.
Yeah.
May I request the members to please settle down? Please take your seats.
With 292 members voting in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and 0 abstentions, the House hereby adopts the findings and recommendations contained in Committee Report Number 472, submitted by the Committee on Ethics and Privileges in the matter of Representative Arnulfo Arnie Teves, Jr.
Mr. Speaker, may we recognize Representative Franz Castro of ACT Teachers Party List.
Representative Franz Castro is hereby acknowledged, recognized for explanation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and Majority Leader. Maiksi lang po, Mr. Speaker and Majority Leader at mga kasama. Ang pagboto ng yes ng representasyong ito ay may kalakip na pasubali na dapat na ipatupad ang mga alituntunin ng Kamara upang panagutin ang mga kinatawan nito sa kanilang mga tungkulin at obligasyon sa ating mga mamamayan ng pantay at walang pinipili. Yun lang po, Mr. Speaker. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat po. At in line with the adoption of the recommendations of the Committee on Ethics and Privileges, the Secretary General is directed to furnish the appropriate agencies a copy of Committee Report number 472.
Our ever dearest colleagues of the House of Representatives in this 19th Congress, the House Speaker, Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, will deliver his message.
Thank you, Mr. Majority Leader. Honorable Deputy Speakers, Majority Leader, Minority Leader, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, before we adjourn and take our well-deserved break, let me commend and recognize every member of this august body for the commitment and untiring efforts that led to an impressive performance. We did not shirk from our responsibilities, and we rose to the challenges that we as lawmakers must address. Our body of accomplishments during the past months proves that our ambitions and aspirations for a better nation are attainable. Mindful of the nation's most pressing needs, the House leadership ushered in the approval on third and final reading several priority measures listed in our common legislative agenda that provide vital services and protect our general safety. The House of Representatives approved 23 of the 31 bills identified by the Legislative, Executive, Development Advisory Council, known as the LEDAC, as priority measures of the Marcos administration. The 31 priority measures were drawn up from dozens of legislative measures that were filed in the Senate and the House to further stimulate economic activities, create job opportunities, and reduce poverty and provide better health care and services for our Filipino brothers and sisters. Of the 23 measures that we approved, 2 had been signed into law by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., while the remaining 8 bills in the LEDAC priority list are under advanced stages of deliberations. With overwhelming majority, we approved on third and final reading the National Government Rightsizing Program, 2, the E-Government Act, 3, the Internet Transaction Act, or the e-commerce law, 4, amendments to the Build, Operate, and Transfer law, 5, the creation of government agencies such as the National Disease Prevention and Management Authority and the Virology Institute of the Philippines. 6, Passive Income and Financial Intermediary Taxation Act, the PFITA. 7, Government Financial Institutions Unified Initiatives, Distressed Enterprises for Economic Recovery, the GUIDE Act. 8, Medical Reserve Corps. And 9, the Philippine Passport Act, among others. We also approved on third and final reading House Bill number 5, which establishes an on-site, in-city, near-city, or off-city local government resettlement program for informal settler families. House Bill number 6, or the Open Access in Data Transmission Act. House Bill number 7241, which strengthens the procedure of registration of voters and adopts a system of online registration. House Bill number 7354, which establishes evacuation centers in every city and municipality, and House Bill 7387, which encourages private sector participation in the agricultural insurance. We looked further and moved toward protecting our countrymen from the untimely increase of premium rates of the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation with the approval of House Bill number 6772, which grants the President the power to spend the increase of premiums. The welfare of women was also at the forefront of our agenda as we provide them the right to retain their maiden surnames through House Bill number 4605. Promoting entrepreneurship and enterprise-based education, addressing unemployment and establishing a reinvestment framework for real estate investment trust, sponsors likewise gained traction as House bills on the subject were approved on third and final reading. Consistent with the administration's priority development plan, several notable pieces of legislation were approved on third reading that delve on the diminishing poverty levels and promoting economic growth, including House Bill number 6608 or the Maharlika Fund Investment Act, House Bill number 4125 or the Ease of Paying Taxes Act, and House Bill number 7006 or the Automatic Income Classification Act for local government units. However, definitely ignited by our democratic energies and signaled moral consent for beneficial change was the approval of House Bill number 7352 entitled an act implementing resolution of both houses number 6 of Congress of the Philippines calling for a constitutional convention to propose amendments to our Constitution, appropriating funds thereof, or the Constitutional Convention Act. Together with the resolution of both houses number 6, these twin measures were voted overwhelmingly by the members with the firm belief that their passage would lead to genuine constitutional reforms. For the longest time, these reforms have taken a back seat due to the misconceptions and perceived controversies. This time around, we will ensure a transparent and trustworthy process where the sovereign mandate of the people is kept safe. The House of Representatives also acknowledged the significance of e-governance in the efficient delivery of public goods and services. Hence, we have recently launched e-Congress, a partnership between the House of Representatives and the Senate, which enables both houses to digitize the legislative support processes, services, and records, and provide a platform for knowledge and for the exchange of information that are different from the other chambers but are shared or made accessible to each other. The chamber gave careful attention to the public outcry against the exorbitant prices of onions and through House Resolution number 681 conducted an inquiry in aid of legislation on the anti-competitive prices and cartel in the onion industry, and the series of hearings have produced immediate positive results, with the price of onions returning to previous levels and personalities involved in the hoarding and price manipulation being slowly unmasked. An equally pressing matter that warranted this chamber's urgent and sound response was the call for disciplinary action against Representative Arnulfo Teves Jr. The House Committee on Ethics and Privilege, observing due process and fully cognizant of Representative Arnie's rights, conducted an investigation and submitted its report and recommendation for plenary action. Under our leadership, the House of Representatives will never ever countenance any conduct unbecoming a House member. While legislation alone is rarely sufficient to ensure fast and equitable changes, our work initiated opportunities that were once unthinkable and hopefully would inspire the passing of future legislative measures that may be perceived as radical by some, but are actually beneficial to many. My dear colleagues, we owe our undiminishing passion for excellence to our vision for a united and inclusive House of Representatives and our steady